twisting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
And welcome. You are tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, home to the Asian Oprah, NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports radio station, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Amazon, Audible, Tiki Live, Podchaser, Rumble, I did T Live, and 28 other stations that I don't have enough coffee to remember. But you know we're always here, 8 a.m. on your drive time to wherever you're going out of the Inland Empire, the great IE. Thank you for making this station the number one talk show station in the IE, and my show is the number one 8 a.m. show. So I am grateful for that. And as you can see, I'm not alone in the studio today again, because I have my favorite Thursday co-host. Welcome, Sam Works, back into the studio. And we're going to have to thank his phone for cooperating. We almost missed his good-looking mug on the screen this morning, but he loves to just keep me on my toes. I keep telling him that's not his job. And Polly definitely kicks your patootie when it comes to hitting that button, but we're going to have to get Polly to, I don't know, give you whatever Polly's having for his. I'm just kidding. But I do appreciate Polly. I do appreciate you, because Polly doesn't talk. So the two of you like balance each other out,
yes,
right?
We do. We're a good team.
You are a good team. And I am delighted to start this show with our traditional breakfast. You get to have breakfast with Sam and I every Thursday morning by taking a bite of our gratitude sandwich. What are 8 specific things that you are grateful for? And this is another way to talk about what's going on, but in the most positive way, because you know me, I'm on a happy 88 mission, 88 million more happy people in the next 8 years. So this show balances out all the bad news with good news. Take a bite first. Bite me. No, I'm just kidding. I've never said that before. I mean, to you, anyways.
Yeah,
what are you grateful for, Sam?
You know what? The biggest thing I'm grateful for is another day, another opportunity. So, and I was thinking about that on the way here too. So it really is something.
Isn't it? God, I love my life. I'm grateful that I love my life. I'm grateful that you know what? I'm grateful that I wake up and I love my life even before good stuff starts to happen.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I am grateful for like restaurants, and I hate to say it, fast foods, but other than the food that I make, because sometimes I get a little lazy.
Nothing wrong with that. I make a lot of reservations. I am grateful that I have dropped 35 pounds in less than 1 year. Valentine's 2022, almost a year ago, I started my Love My Body, Love Myself project. And I gained a little when I went back to Canada, and then started 2.0. But I'm so grateful that I did that. And yeah, so that counts as 2 gratitudes.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I know.
Do you have a goal?
It's funny. People ask me all the time why I don't set goals specifically. I used to do a lot of goal setting and achievement oriented, go hit that goal. But I found that whenever I put a goal out there, I was never happy until I was at that goal. And then when I got to the goal, I wanted to, I didn't celebrate. I wanted to go to the next goal. So as a result, I was never happy, right? Wherever I was, like you would say, oh, that's great. And I go, yeah, but I have another blah to go. Yeah, but I have another blah to go. So this way, with no goal, I just said, I'm just going to do what I can do as best I can. And whatever happens, happens. And, I know I want to lose. I know I want to feel better. I know I want to take the weight off my hips that don't lie, because I had 2 hip replacements. I know what's good for me. I know what's not good for me. And so 88% of the time I would do intermittent fasting. 88% of the time I would do no flour. So there's some, and I just let it see what happened. And, 35, 3 + 5 = 8. Ha ha ha. So, it's a good number. And then, the achievement, well, you could hit, 38 pounds, also has an 8. So, I'm thrilled. I didn't think I could do this. The last time I dropped that much weight was during the divorce, and that was really bad way. I worked all day, like literally 18-hour days, and then I wouldn't eat. And then at night, I would drink and not eat and not sleep. And so I dropped 40 pounds in 9 months, called the divorce diet. And it was a horrible way to lose it. And I looked really unhealthy, but because I have body dysmorphia, I thought I looked great. So for me, this was a loving thing that I could do for myself. I feel like I have free clothes. I'm glad I didn't throw away some of the really nice clothes that I had, not worn, because it just felt so tight and I felt really ugly. So yeah, like I'm really, it's funny, Victoria, a woman that I'd worked with like before COVID, she hasn't seen me in a bit. And she came on the show yesterday as a contributor. And she's like, there's something different. It's not just the weight. There's something different. And what she sees is the goal was to love my body more. So that's a long answer to your short question. But anyway, there's no rules in this show. As y'all know, we talk about everything. So what are you grateful for?
I am grateful for getting to hang out with my brother, because it's been his birthday. He has like a birth week instead of a birthday. So
I have a birth month. I have
a
birth month. What's his name?
Is that? His name's Timmy.
Happy birthday, dear Timmy. Happy birthday to you. That's for you, Timmy.
I like that. And when's your birth month?
My birth month is August. Oh. August. Remember, I'm Leo in 5 forking planets, not just a Leo. I can't help myself, because that's why I'm so shy. Sarcasm is another service I offer. I am grateful that today I'm going to be on TV again. It's funny, I don't have a TV. So if anybody's listening and I see eyeballs rolling in, welcome to the show. Please feel free to put your gratitudes in the chat and I'll put them up here. I am on Game Show Network today. And the episode is, I believe, episode 4. They called it My Lucky Number is 8.
Interesting.
I know, I was shocked. I didn't realize they had done that until yesterday, because I don't have a TV and I'm scrambling around asking people, do you have Game Show Network? Do you have Game Show Network? Please tape it for me. Actually, just take like little 1-minute vertical video and send it to me. I would be forever grateful. I'll give you tickets to something. Actually, I'm giving away tickets to Paul Anka today at the end of the show. So Put your head on my shoulder. Da, 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 da. Do you know that song?
I do
That's
know
Paul
that
Anka.
song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's on Saturday at the Saban Theater, one of my fabulous show sponsors. So don't let me forget to tell people how to get those tickets.
Okay.
I have two left. So anyways, yes, so Game Show Network, it's a brand new show called Switch, and it's a hit show in Belgium where I used to live, and they brought it to America, and it's basically a trivia show cross between Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and Jeopardy, except I'm not a trivia person, so don't get your hopes up. But anyways, it's a fun show, and you get eliminated every spot. And in my fashion, my shy fashion, I got the audience. I loved the audience, and I had them rooting for me. So it's a fun show to watch, and a great co-host. He's on Chicago Fire, or I can't remember. Well, anyways, I'm going to try to get him on the show because he's fun and cute too. But I am delighted. It'll be, check your local listings, Game Show Network, 4 p.m. My bonus sister found it, but I would love it if you taped a few clips and just sent them to me, messaged them to me. That would be great. That was the top of the bun. Gratitudes. Now we go to the bottom of the bun. Appreciations. What do you like about yourself? Because if you don't know what you're good at or what you like, and if you're not soothing yourself, then you're about to go outside looking for love in all the wrong places. And if you can't forking approve of yourself, how the fork do you expect other people to approve of yourself? So, Sam, what do you like about yourself?
One thing that I like about myself is that I like to bring people together. And so me bringing people together makes more people like me and me like them. And it's a whole circle. So I like it.
I like the way that I am observant and open to the power of a friendly universe. So I see 555, 1144, 222. I'll be thinking of a butterfly and then I'll see a butterfly. I love watching birds fly in formation. And sure enough, whenever I'm in a good mood, there's birds flying in a formation. And my ability to see those things, I like that.
That's pretty cool. I like the fact that even though I beat myself up a little bit, I don't give myself such a hard time if something doesn't go right.
I appreciate that I know how to say okie dokie, which is my give myself a break term. So when I step in it, when I goof up, okie dokie, which is code for, you're 88% fabulous and 12% of the time you step in it. Oh, well.
Oh, well.
Oh, well.
See, I'm trying to be like you, Dr. Marissa. I like the fact that when I go out to social places to meet people, I don't have to drink all the time. So like yesterday, we went out with my brother and stuff, and I didn't even feel like drinking, but everyone else did. I was like, good job, Sam.
Nice. Very nice. Yeah. Yeah. I just celebrated 14 years with no alcohol.
Okay, I don't know if I can do that.
But one day at a time. All right. Let's see. I think that's it. We have now sufficiently digested the morning gratitude sandwich. Thank you for starting the day with us in the most positive way. Let me give it to you. And now you are tuned into my very special Thursday series called Straight Talk with Dr. Marissa and
Sam Works.
Sam, what are we talking about today?
Well, that is a good question. I like how you piece it together, so I'm kind of just waiting for the subtitle to come by. But
Okay, I'll
basically,
give you the title.
give it to
Yeah,
us.
he does this. I ask him what he wants, and then I play with what he gives me on the chat. I mean, when he chats me. Okay, so he said, well, anyway, so this is what I came up with. Is the alpha male a dying breed? Did you laugh at that?
I did. Shook
Is
my
it
head.
real? Pardon?
I shook my head.
Ah. Is it really okay for women to wear the pants in the relationship? And 3, is it really possible for men and women to have a 50-50 relationship? That's what we're talking about today. So what do you think, Sam? Why did you come up with this topic? And what is your 8 cents worth there? And I invited someone who actually made a comment. I hope that's one of the eyeballs that's on there, to join us this morning because he was brave enough to give his 8 cents worth, his BS, his belief system around that question. And he actually answered that question, which I thought was pretty fun. And his name is Ron Tanaka. No, it's let's see. Where is it? One comment. Here we go. Let's see. I can't find the comment. Anyways, you go ahead and I'll find the comment.
Okay, so I just kind of want to break it down, and we'll go backwards on this. So the last thing she said is, can couples go 50-50 financially? Now, I would say, like, in literal sense, 50-50, that's only if they make the same amount and they can go 50-50. But let's say someone, like, the husband makes 100,000 and the wife makes like 60 to 80,000, just throwing numbers out there, or even vice versa. I think it'd be pretty hard to go 50-50, right? But in terms of, like, you pay for half of stuff and I pay for half of stuff, I think that's fair to a sense. I mean, usually when I go on dates and everything, you can partake in that scenario. But if you take it over like a whole relationship, then guy or girl, they'll be like, well, I did this for you, this for you, and then, like, it's not really 50-50. So it is tough. But if you were to say, in a relationship, can you put all your chips in, rather than giving 50% of your finances or 50% of your love, then I think that would accommodate for everything else in there, right? What do you think?
I think it was just easier before when, right or wrong, the man it was the breadwinner. The women, their job was to stay home and raise the children, and the money was the families. And it was easier. I'm not saying it was correct or right. So if you're a feminist, do not bristle right now. We're going to be saying more things you can bristle at, but it was just easier then. I think that introducing the fact that women in the workplace, we want equality, we want equal pay, equal work, we want to be able to have no ceiling, no glass ceiling, no grass ceiling, no nothing, then it introduces the tricky part, which I experienced, where a woman makes uber more than a man. And can you drop the BS belief system that whoever makes more money is more alpha, or more is better or stronger or more powerful or more successful? I mean, that's a whole ball of, those rubber bands that people make, the giant balls. There's so many layers and so many rubber bands to have to, unwind in there. And it's way trickier than just saying, of course, we can do 50-50 and women can wear the pants now. And, you're able to pool everything together. And if you love that person, then you should be able to share everything. It's not as easy as that. It may be that easy in the first trimester of your relationship when you're like all goo goo gaga, and you are, oh, what's yours is mine and mine is yours, blah 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 blah, and but when that second trimester of the reality of the relationship, good, bad, and indifferent, then you've got, Houston, we may have a problem. That's my view, because I lived that.
I think when I like how you said, or when like someone makes uber amount of money, right, then that person has more power or is more successful, da da da. But in relationship, I feel like the successful part is joined together, but the power, that's a little different, right? Because the person who makes the money holds the power. Because if he has no money, then there is no house, there is no financial income, so therefore there is no power. But as a woman dating a guy, she can really partake in what decisions he makes. I'm trying to use my words carefully here.
I know, right? I know. I was bracing for what you were going to say, because you've gotten in trouble before for some of your BS belief systems.
Not really, just my terminology, I would say.
Yeah, no, but let's put that moose on the table. Let's put the moose on the table. Because my girlfriend, I babysit a little Frenchie in the building. I shouldn't identify, but anyway, she was like, she's dating. I may join her in a service just for fun. I know, right? Just for fun, just because I'm feeling good enough to show my body, maybe naked. So that was one of the goals, if there was any goal with the weight loss. But because she's actively doing what I used to do, and going on dates and meeting new people. And she's like, I cannot believe this guy asked me to split the bill. I'm old fashioned. I want a guy to treat me on the first date, like maybe later down the line, but on the first impression, I can't believe that he asked me to split the bill. And I said, I almost wanted to say, I guess it's been a while since you've dated, because I know that this has been around for a little while now, like where men, if you want equal rights, if you want equal pay, if you want, then you should split in the dating process, right? And but I agree with her still. If you want to impress me on the first date, you take care of the bill. You show, and I guess that's where the moose gets put on the table. I am a powerful, independent, self-reliant woman. Yeah, really? No. And yet I appreciate, and it makes my toes curl if you are an alpha man who is a take charge, successful, have a portfolio of achievements, go-getter, ambitious, and want to show that off. I have no problems with you showing that off, and being generous. I'm not talking about huge things. I don't need a car. I don't need clothes. But flowers and just like little things that little bit of money energy that will just make me go, oh, that's so cute, and that's just so special. That I like that. And I am a pretty progressive woman. I'm my daughters are staunch feminists, so that can say something about my raising them. But I would not say that I am a staunch feminist, because I can't. I just said that and admitted that I still see that as a great thing. I love having my doors opened. I love when Sam's a gentleman when we meet and spend time together. I love that feeling of being not not coddled, but for me, that means respect. For a feminist, that may not mean respect. And I have no quarrel with that. I don't want to change your mind about that. If that's what you like, then go ahead. Just don't try to change me, and I'm not going to try to change you.
I feel like, when your friend went on that date and then the guy was like asked to like pay half and stuff. I think he was just trying to keep it real. I really do. I think he was just trying to make sure, like, because unless you're gonna pay for the meal every time, then like how long can you do that for? If you don't do it anyways, like if that's something new to you, or if that's just like going above and beyond, like how long can that last? Maybe the first trimester, right? That's when you guys start having problems and everything, because he's not able to handle his money or be disciplined or anything like that. If that's not like your true nature, then every once in a while, yes, I agree, that'd be nice, but don't try to like front that, because eventually you're gonna gas yourself out. She's gonna think that you lost respect for her, that you don't like her anymore, or this and that. So because I see both ways, but like for me, like
You go both ways? No.
no.
That was my first one. It took me a little while to warm up today.
All right, now the ball's rolling.
Yeah. Which ball? Sorry. Go ahead.
But like, if I had a family, right, or if I have like my lady with me and some friends, like I'm gonna pay for them because like that's my lady, you guys are my friends. But if someone else tries to step in, like to me, it's like, bro, until you have your own lady and everything else, and then you can take care of the bill, But as someone that I've grown up with a family where it's like, the man pays for the food. He provides, so therefore he'll provide the food and the bill, right? It's not have someone else take care of it because I'm too broke. If that's the case, then don't go out to eat, right? So, I mean, that's just how I was born and raised. So, like, with me, I'll be able to continuously, pay for the meal. Or, I'm very surprised when a girl's like, hey, I'll tip or I'll pay half. Because I had girls that are just like that. I'm like, wow, like, I'm very impressed, Like, it's usually, like, I got it, So, it is, it's nice to hear when it's, like, flipped. Where the girl's like, hey, I got it this time or this and that, But I don't truly think it's ever going to be 50-50 on a grand scale, maybe like on dates every once in a while, but not overall.
So answering your question of when this would change, in my ideal scenario, boy meets girl, girl meets girl, boy meets boy. First date, if it's because we're both straight, and for me, if a guy picks up that check the first time, that's points and an expectation. All right.
Expectation, yes.
That would be my expectation, because that tells me that he is showing that he likes me, and that he is, I don't know if it's take charge, but anyways, I interpret that as a good thing. All right. Now, I would not say, can I help you with that the first date? Because my expectation is, if he really wants me, this is the least he can do to show that he wants me. A little old fashioned, I'll admit it, but that's my just fair warning. Okay. Second date, I will say, can I help you with that? Now, if he says yes, that's a negative for me, because I want him to say, no, I've got this. I'm just saying, this is me. This is my expectation. And Ron, we're going to get to you in a second. I found your comment. Third date, right? I will say, I got this. I will treat, right? I want to take you out. And if he says, that's so sweet, but no, I've got this, then I know, okay, this is a keeper for me. That would be like, ding, ding, ding. Okay. Definitely a keeper. if they said you can help with the tip, even that to me is still, I want a man who knows what he wants me, and will go to any length to show how much you, and right or wrong, showing that I got a finger on that one. Someone just gave me the thumbs up. That's the finger. Don't worry. Not that finger. I will interpret that as, this guy really it is committed to the dance or the chase or the game, and he wants to win me as a prize. Now that sounds horrible to a feminist, I'm sure. And by the way, when you said ladies before, lady, and just so you know, for some women, that even that term sounds like the diminutive, wearing little white gloves and so frail and can't do anything. And that's why there's this backlash against that term, just so you know. So if you see people, strangers or women, and you're talking to them and you say lady and they go like that, that's why. And then you can say, oh, I'm sorry, Dr. Marissa told me that might be a term that pushed buttons, but it was not meant that way. And if she's at all worth keeping, she'll say, I know you didn't mean it, but it thank you for mentioning that. Because I also do not support women who get pissed off at everything without looking at the intention from the guy, and they're only just reacting to impact. All right. Let's go to Ron's thing. Ron said, in answering your question, if women, if the alpha breed is expiring, or is it going extinct? No, women have too many expectations. With expectations, there are always disappointments. The old saying that women always want to change men instead of accepting them, and they say that men don't listen. We listen. Ha 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 ha. So thank you, Ron. I think that's a moose on the table comment from a man who, it sounds like, had some relatively negative experiences with women who have this, what I call, and I told him, I agree with you that in many cases, women drive a relationship to the ground when they have this expectation that the man is supposed to be perfect. The man is supposed to know what they're thinking. The man is supposed to know what to say. The man is supposed to know what to do. And there's a lot of double standards. And I will agree with you that that's what I was talking about when I first talked about this topic. It was just easier in the old days, or the way back when. These days, with the introduction of strong, independent, financially successful women, it's difficult to find that balance for the guy. He's like damned if he does and damned if, am I supposed to? Is that, he's darned if he does and he's darned if he doesn't. So I understand that. And when I'll finish with this and then I'll let you talk. When people come to me for relationship coaching, the challenge that I have is, for the woman, I want you for 30 days to only look at what your guy does well, says well, bring back that appreciation and gratitude and highlighting of all the good that your guy does, that you had the first trimester of your relationship, but that has gone away because you're picking on every single thing that he does wrong. So that I agree. Absolutely. I feel for the men these days. I really do, because it's not so straightforward.
Right. And the thing is, women like guys who are straightforward, maybe not in like verbal action, but what they want in life, or like how they get it, like they don't get their minds changed easily, right? They're not persuaded easily. And because that makes them very vulnerable, right? And a girl doesn't want a man who's very vulnerable. This is why girls say men don't listen. We hear
What?
you.
What?
This is why women
What?
say this is why women say guys don't listen. Because we do. We hear you, but yet we're still pushing forward because we have our own drive forward, right? We make our own decisions and we change our minds slowly, like it's not that we can't, it's not like we don't listen. We hear you girls or women. We hear you women, but we already have a path that we're taking. And if we get persuaded easily, that makes us less of a man in a sense, because now we're just controlled by society and by other people, which what women do not want, right? A woman wants a guy who's in line and follows his own orders, not someone else's, who's not a puppet, right? Unless the woman's doing the puppying, the
Puppeting.
yeah,
The pupping.
you know.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I also don't think, what was the first segment that we're talking about, is the alpha male dying breed going extinct. I don't think so. I just think that other things are expanding, right? Because let's say there's 100 million like alpha males out there. Well, there's 300 billion other different types of personalities and categories of men and women. So it's not that we're going extinct. It's now there's just a more variety of people out there.
I would agree with that. And just so I'm clear, I am glad that the alpha male like Harvey, like Donald, like Elon, that type of alpha male that has the expectation that they can do anything they want to women, that women are there to be your playthings, your toys. That alpha male, I hope they die a very quick and painful death, because, ooh, that was pretty strong. But I am strong about that. I believe that that era hopefully is going extinct, and that, being called on the carpet, I think the first one was Bill Cosby, in a very public way, the Me Too movement is that pendulum swinging to, what the fork do you mean, locker room? That's not okay. That's not normal. That's not okay. And so I'm grateful that that particular genre of alpha male is going away. But I don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater either. I think that there's something very attractive, as I mentioned before. Now, here's the downside of what I just said I liked. I want that strength, but at the same time, it goes right up against my own strength. So, first, second, third date, I want you to, and you do this. You told me you order for a woman from the menu, and it's cute the first time, and after that, it's like, what? I don't like that. I want to order for myself. Like, what are you talking about? So then there becomes that next level of reality. Moose on the table is, if I want that, I will constantly at the second trimester of the relationship. And if you're wondering why I keep saying that, I have a pregnancy model of relationships that is in this book that people love, that says, normally what happens in a relationship. So the first part's the glow, the second part's the nausea and the discomfort, which is the reality. The third is the decision. So when you get to that second part, if you want someone who's really strong, then you also have to know when to hold and when to fold. And that's the difficult part for me, because I get to that point and I'm like, sorry, I'd rather go out by myself. And that's not realistic either. So that's when they say relationships take work.
So with like the whole like ordering the food thing, like you tell me what you want. It's not like, hey, you need a salad or you're having what I'm having. It's not like that. It's just, I order for the family or for the group. So there's no confusion and it's just like, it's in order, right?
Yeah.
And then I think when it comes to like, if I'm dating a woman, like she has to be like my kryptonite. You know what I mean? Like she's not just some woman that I have like tagging along on a leash or anything like that. Like the person that I'm with is a serious like relationship, and if you want to put your 2 cents in, I'm gonna hear you out, right? Because if you're not my kryptonite, you're probably someone else's kryptonite. You're not mine. And
Wait a minute. I thought kryptonite put like weakened the Superman. Isn't kryptonite the bad one? The one that makes him weak?
Look, everything else in the world makes him like he's unstoppable, right? But having kryptonite is what makes him vulnerable and makes him like not necessarily like Neo. You know what I mean? Like Bruce Banner, like the Hulk. I'm talking Marvel right now. Like turns him like he's a monster, but when she's around, it turns him to human. Like you need someone, you know what I mean, who's gonna put out your flame.
Not weak, but vulnerable and human. Okay, that makes sense now. For a second there, that was confusing me. And maybe before I forget,
I should have used the better.
Before I forget, as usual, we're in the last quarter of the show. First is, have you already looked at the news as it's Groundhog Day today? Yesterday, I totally forgot it was February 1st, new month. I love new everything, right? So this is the first time we're entering in February. It is the month of the SAD Day, Single Awareness Day. my term for Valentine's. But do you know what the groundhog has seen today? What's his name again? Puxatawny Phil. Take a guess. I'll give you $1 if you're right. Do you think it's 6 more weeks of winter, or we're moving into spring?
Nah, 6 more weeks.
Did you already know?
No.
And you're guessing which one?
6 more weeks.
Of?
Winter.
I owe you $1.
Let's go.
I just wanted to make sure we acknowledge that little cute groundhog. Okay, so where was I? So have we answered 50-50? I don't believe. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. For those of you who are a little like, oh, you are setting up stereotypes and we're all one and we all bleed, and men and women are, you're making a problem where there's not a problem. I will have to say to you that this we are the world is great until we ignore actual differences. Men and women are different no matter how you slice and dice it. Do not ever say in this effort for equal pay, equal work, and equal rights, I am 150% towards that. But don't go the next step to say there are no differences between men and women, because that is the worst disservice to women. It leads to us thinking we have to be like a man to be successful. It leads us to think that we're not of value in a very different and unique way as women. So I had to say that because people have taken this stereotype a little too far in my book. I think it's important to acknowledge group differences. And it's been very clear in research that men are different kind of problem solvers than women. Women have tendencies to be harder on themselves than men do. Not all, but most. So the more we can acknowledge this, the better it is that we're going to be able to have something that approximates 50-50. But I don't believe that you can do 50-50. I believe that if for harmony, it's that yin yang, and there's someone that has to get 51%. Now you can switch on who has that 51% in the different, whatever you're addressing, whether it's the the finances or the responsibilities at home or the child raising. There is differences in that split depending on the skill set. And women, for the most part, were designed to nurture. We are good nurturers. We carry the child in our body. We have different hormones that allow us to breastfeed. I mean, don't tell me I'm like a man. Somebody said early on that they thought I was, I'm as strong as a man. And I said, well, actually, I do have balls, but I just tuck them in well. Anyways, that stopped him from saying that anymore. And if you're like in a generation past, go watch Crying Game. Have you watched that yet?
No.
Oh, you got to watch that. So you'll know what I'm talking about. But anyway, so I think it's so important for us to say, who's wearing the pants in the family? Well, it depends on what thing you're talking about. When it comes to finances and managing the finances, whoever's best at that. If the woman is better at that, have the woman do that. Then she wears the pants in the finance. Who's better at cleaning making sure the house function, not cleaning. I hate cleaning. I'm allergic to cleaning. So I hire somebody to clean because I value that. So if you are better at the presentation of a clean house, then you have 51 or maybe 80% of that. If you're a better patient parent, then you have the majority of that, but not all and not nothing. So I think that it does a disservice to woman to say that it's 50-50 because the bottom line is at home, it ain't 50-50. It's never going to be 50-50. Y'all don't have that, a presentation gene. Most of you, some of you do. Renaissance men, retrosexual men, they have artistic talents that, may shine in the bedroom or the home or the living room. Where your skills are, that's where you shine. Where your skills are, that's where you have the majority share. That's my last word.
Ooh, well, I have a question for you, actually, Dr. Marissa. You said earlier today it's expected on the first date for the guy to pay, right? Mm-hmm. And this can be
for me.
For you. Okay, so yeah, for you. So now this might be for next week's topic if you want to continue. Mm-hmm. But for you, what is expected for you? Like, what is your role? If the guy is supposed to take you out and pay, what is your role for that first date?
So my role is to be appreciative and not to have the expectation that they're going to do that. That it's even though I just said it's my expectation, to pretend like that's not my expectation. That's my role to be interested in what he is saying to me, to not see him as competition, to not see him as someone who is, I got this feedback with a guy, 2 feedbacks that made a huge difference in my life. One, when I was dating before I got married, he said, "You are so, what have you done for me lately?" And that really stung. But I think I'm not alone. I think that many women shoot themselves in the foot because they don't appreciate, they don't say, or really, it is looking to the next, what are you going to do for me? What have you done for me lately? So it is my job not to have that attitude. And then secondly, I had a guy say, I don't mind being like second or third on your priority list, but 10 is a little low on my list. I can't deal with 10 because my kids, my work, and I have 6 kinds of work or 8 kinds of work and And my responsibility is to make him feel like he is so important. That's my role, that he is in that moment the most important person And if I can't do that, which is why I haven't dated, because I can't do that. I can't start. He's not. I haven't met a man who I chose to do that with. Now, I know that I've also haven't been open to the relationship, and I am a very powerful attractor. And if I have already shut that door, it ain't going to come in. But now I'm slowly trying to open my door and allow a relationship. It's funny. I had a psychic medium on the show a couple days ago. She saw a romantic relationship for me in July. And then my big brother, Michael Bernard Beckwith, when he was on the show, the founder of Agape International Spiritual Center, he also made a prediction that this was the year for love in my life, the romantic kind. So I have all this stacked up for me, not against me. So I just have to allow that and be open to it. That's why I shocked you and said I might, I think she's on Match. So so I may look into that again. Although the last time I was on Match, it was a long time ago, and I bought like 3 months and I went on 2 really bad dates. And so the rest of the time I used it as a research tool. And I went out on lunch dates with, like a plethora of men and interviewed them. Like, what was your best date? What was your worst date? And I had a little treatise on online dating. This was way back when. So we'll see. I don't know. We'll see if I can get over the PTSD from that experience. Nothing against Match. I think it's just any online dating. So
yeah, I think we should talk about that next week as well.
Yeah, I think you're right, because I'm ready to consider it. I know you don't do it, but you don't need to do it. So it's really, maybe I should get Damona back on here. She is the dating coach that is on Kelly Clarkson's show. She does the that stuff. Maybe it's time to get Dr. Pat Allen back on here. She rakes me through the romance coals. Let's talk about that next week, because it's my number one video viewed. I think it's like 50,000 views just of that video the first time she was on my show. So what's your final word?
My final word is I don't think there's a thing called 50-50 in a relationship, but you can put all your chips in. I really think you can do that. The alpha male role has not gone extinct. There's just everything else has expanded, more varieties in life. And make your man feel like he's the most important, and he'll pay for your food for sure.
Excellent. I am so glad that you tuned in. A couple of things I want to highlight. Riverside and San Bernardino counties, spring is close, but February often brings unpredictable winter weather that can cause blood drive cancellations and make it difficult for donors to make it to their appointments. So if you donate and go to redcrossblood.org, download the app to find out the nearest place. They're offering a chance at a trip to Florida and a $10 Amazon.com gift card for anyone that comes and donates blood or platelets. So Fred, the station owner, asked me to make that announcement. So I am, because I listen to my boss. And then 2, the first person to go to drmarissa.life and put in, and they called it puppy love. We'll get you tickets to Paul Anka this weekend, Saturday night at the Saban Theater. Well, I'm so delighted once again to say I hope you had a great time. It's all about balance, peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. Now go put your pants on. And see you tomorrow morning with my co-host Alon for Tempting Conversations. She's the daughter of Temptations founder Otis Williams. Thanks again for making this the best show ever. See you tomorrow.
And have the best day ever.